Welcome to Chosen Few Expats. My name is Alonzo. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a portion of an interview that I did with Teresa Glaspie. Teresa has a YouTube channel called Teresa's New Dawn. I met Teresa when she was here on vacation. We had a couple of really nice conversations. She asked me to do an interview, so I was very, very happy to do it. So I'm going to be posting portions of that interview here. You can head over to her channel and check out the full interview. So we will be hosting webinars to take questions concerning our Panama relocation online course, as well as our Panama relocation experience tours that we are releasing. We can also address some other questions that you have about Panama in general. We plan to do those about once every other week or so. So be on the lookout on our Facebook group, which is Panama Relocation and Expat Experience, or sign up for our community. You can click on the link in the description down below or scan the QR code that is on your screen. That'll put you on our mailing list where you can receive our newsletter. You can receive invites to these types of webinars, that we're going to be having via Zoom. Won't be on YouTube, but we can have the discussion privately via Zoom, where we can really be more candid and discuss things a lot more openly than on this forum. So, if you're interested in that, please do go to our website, PanamaRelocationOnlineCourses.com, where you can get more information on our products and services.
So if you don't mind, can you speak a little bit to what was your planning process, and also how much time did your planning process require?
Yeah, so for the planning process, when you decide you want to leave the country, I guess the first thing you really need to do is kind of decide, okay, where do I go? All these other countries. And living and growing up in the United States, we've always been told, that the US is like the best thing since sliced bread, and a lot of it is, there's a lot of amenities that come with living in the United States, but there are a lot of other great places out there to live. So the first thing we did was try to figure out, narrow down a list of where we would want to go. So we didn't really want to go too far away. We knew we wanted to come back, visit family. We wanted family to be able to come visit us. So that kind of knocked out, you know, Europe,
Mhm.
Asia. Europe was going to be knocked out anyway because we were looking at cost of living as a factor for sure, like most people do. Some Asian countries, you have low cost of living, like Thailand and Vietnam, but there's trade-offs with that. It's on the other side of the world.
Yeah, yeah.
You have countries like Ecuador and Colombia that have lower cost of living than Panama, but there are trade-offs with that because those countries are less safe than
Okay,
Panama. So
okay.
basically, we started looking. We found that Panama was showing up on every list that you could look at. That's like top places to retire. Although we're not retired, we're thinking, okay, if people are retired and willing to go spend the rest of their life and their golden years in this place, there must be something really good about it. So we really need to check this out.
Yeah.
And as a
Okay.
matter of fact, Forbes named Panama the top country for expats to live in 2024. And it was like 82% of expats who live in Panama say they love living in Panama. And then the average is something like 68% for other countries.
Oh,
So,
well. Okay.
that kind of started the planning process. It's like, okay, let's see what's up with Panama. And then once we started digging into all of the details, the cost of living, the economy, the banking system, and all of these other factors, I just couldn't be moved off of it. Even when I did
Okay.
some research on Mexico, like I said, Colombia, some of these other nations, a lot of those nations are developing countries also. Panama is a developing country. It's not a third world country like some people say. Some people just don't have the understanding. They think it's all shacks and,
Mm-hmm.
huts and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But, it is has a bustling metropolis. It has a lot of first world amenities. They have a lot of things that they're working on, but they
Yeah,
do have a lot
yeah.
of first world amenities. And in terms of the time, um, it didn't really take all that long. We did have more time, of course, due to the pandemic. When the
Okay.
pandemic hit, that gave us more time because we thought we had narrowed down on Panama. And it's just like, well, okay, let's circle back around and take another look at some of these countries and other countries because we were able to go to Mexico during
Okay.
COVID. I noticed in your interview with Tamala, she said that her and her husband were able to spend a lot of time in Mexico because it was one of the
Yeah.
few places you could travel during COVID. And that's the same deal for us. We like to travel, and we're like, where can we go? So we did end up going to Mexico. So it took another hard look at Mexico, but at the end, I just couldn't see, Panama overall,
Hmm.
was a great option,
Yeah, thanks
the
for
best
sharing that.
option.
I had not thought about becoming an expat, but in my travels to Panama, I've been there a couple times and I really do like it. I've spent time at the beach, Nueva Gorgona, where you are, and also in Panama City. And I definitely could see spending extended time there. I'm not at the point where I want to move, but I do feel like I could spend more time there. And you mentioned Ecuador and Colombia. Those are two places that I want to travel to also just to see. And I was going to ask if there were any other countries that you all had traveled to where you'd spent extended time, like a month or more, just to kind of get a different feel of the different places. So if you could speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, so for us, no, we did not, because we were still working our corporate jobs at the time.
Okay.
I'm an engineer, was an engineer, with a major printer company called Lexmark. My wife was an IT project manager for a major healthcare company. So we were still working at the time. She had more ability to work remotely than I did.
Okay.
We did not have the ability to go stay somewhere for a month at a time back then. We could go for,
Okay.
10, 12-ish days.
Mm-hmm.
So we did, like I said, of all of those countries, we did spend some time in Mexico, over the course of a couple of, trips, like 1 week here and 1 week there.
Okay.
But so no, we didn't have an opportunity to do that. But part of our planning was to take 4 exploratory trips to Panama. So we vetted it out, fully. We took, 4 trips here. We spent some time in the city and some time in the area we live in now on the Pacific beaches. And the
Mm-hmm.
other thing I wanted to mention that goes into the planning for this, if people start to consider somewhere down the road doing this, a couple of things I think people really, really overlook are like the government structure of a country, because you don't want to move somewhere, go through all of this research and uproot your life to move somewhere. And then you get there and then like the government's unstable, there's a coup or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
the president's being overthrown, or, you know, or
Yeah.
say like the economy. I think it's important to understand the economy, how the economy works, what's the backbone of the economy, because similarly, you don't want to go to a place and get there and just have it just fall under like an economic collapse. So,
Yeah.
Panama checked those boxes big time, with their government structure and stability, and with their economy, with the Panama Canal, as its backbone, that's bringing in $4.2 billion of revenue a year in a country that's only has 4.5 million people. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
they have the backbone to survive and thrive, and they're on the US dollar. So I just want to
Mhm.
add that in
Yeah.
terms of the planning.
Thank you for mentioning that. I hadn't thought of, I know personally I had not, and maybe because I hadn't thought of living in another country, but I think what you're touching on as far as making sure you look at the government and making sure you look at the economy, because that is a big life decision to say, we're going to pick up and move. And then, like you said, you may get over to another place and it might look and feel pretty, but you get there and you realize it's not stable at all, you know? So thanks for mentioning that.
We hope you all enjoyed the content. Please do like, subscribe, comment down below. Check out our website, PanamaRelocationOnlineCourses.com, for our products and services. And we will catch you all on the next video.